Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
Too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
He knew it was just a matter of time when Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Tonight, it's a doubleheader. It's pressure for two different types of racetracks. It's pressure for everyone in the Mystic Racing League to stay consistent. Better yet, make sure they survive the night, especially here on VSPEED. Tonight, the Slim Chickens Cup Series ready to do battle. We start off the evening with a trip to Bristol Motor Speedway to the last great Coliseum, where tonight it's the Sofa News 200 here on VSPEED. Good evening, everyone. I'm Justin Prince. Alongside me in the booth tonight, Morgan Cook. Using cameras provided by the great Dougie Beard, as this evening is a test for drivers. Of course, last week we had a postponement when it came to this Bristol race, Morgan, which means tonight a little bit more compressed in terms of the race distance and the fuel tanks, but it's still Bristol, baby. It's going to be difficult.
Got 200 laps up on the board. We're going to do Bristol first, and we're going to take a little bit of a hiatus and move our way to the Irish Hills of Michigan right after this one. It's going to be a long night of racing here on VSPEED. Drivers are going to be worn out, but it's going to be well worth it for you in your recliner at home. Make sure you don't get away from VSPEED tonight. It'll be a lot of fun.
All I can say is I'm probably not going to sleep tonight because of commitments. It's going to be an interesting night for the drivers because the estimate by the time we finish up the evening, nearly 5-6 hours of racing tonight in the MRL. Now, a lot to consider when it comes to just how these battles are going to fare out in terms, especially for how things are going coming to the championship standings. It's been a bit of a dramatic season 2 in that regard coming in. Isaac Wilson has just a 20-point advantage over River Hayes, a big contrast compared to, say, the Caswell Glass Company series. Devin Curl is within 25 also, but it's going to be interesting to see if we see him tonight with Ballinger and Robertson amongst those inside the top 5. We've had a variety of different winners, actually, Morgan. All those winners essentially are amongst your top 6 or so in the point standings so far.
I think the only driver to win and not be on this graphic is Rayshawn Winkfield. Every other driver on this graphic is up in that top 6 with a win. And driver to watch out of that 6 is Beckett Brown. He's run 4 or so less races than everybody else, but still is within 100 points of that points lead. Isaac Wilson could be looking in the rear view here in the point standings.
Yes, indeed, and we get ourselves in position for what may be a tricky one in terms for some of the drivers to make sure they stay above that top 16 cut line. Davidson up 1 over Hunt, coming in with it. So getting ourselves prepared for the race like this tonight. Obviously, lots of points on the line. So important to make sure you run well tonight. Drivers' meeting is still in the final moments at the moment. What's kind of your mindset when you have 2 very different tracks like Bristol and Michigan on the docket and knowing you have 2 long races for both of them?
Yeah, you could do it one of 2 ways. You either have a favorite of these racetracks, whether it's Bristol or Michigan, you're just trying to survive the other one, or you're thinking, I am going to just go out here and just race what's in front of me. We're not even going to worry about Michigan, not even going to think about it. We got 200 laps of Bristol in front of us. How am I going to execute properly here at Bristol to be fast and then deal with Michigan when it comes? And tonight, I mean, it's going to be about managing lanes, managing traffic. You can't hide at Bristol like you can at Michigan. So you got to be able to run the top, the middle, and the bottom here tonight to be fast and be able to make it way through traffic.
Especially right now, race control thinks there's high expectations for the field tonight in terms of what we should see this evening. So we'll find out how well they'll compete here tonight. The drivers' meeting still is actually going long at the moment, hence why we have not made our way towards the grid. They have less than 5 minutes on that timer. Here's the current estimated schedule, by the way, for those coming in. We mentioned 200 laps for tonight on the distance. 50 and 100 will be your stages this evening here, Morgan. But 50% fuel tank. Normally a fuel run about 120, 140 laps, depending on what you have in the Cup car, maybe your 150. So there is likely going to be a pit stop during stage 3 for fuel. That in mind, look at the tire set strictness here tonight. That's 4 tire sets for 200 laps. There isn't a lot of flexibility. That's 1 spare set, essentially, when you think about it, if we do pit for fuel in stage 3.
Yeah, I would agree with that you only have the 1 spare set. So you definitely can't be using it in the first 2 stages. It's got to happen in stage 3 when you use that set. But it's time to figure out where your favorite driver is going to start the race tonight. It's gridding time.
Drivers' meeting getting its final conclusions now, and drivers will now transition into the Coliseum. It's a day race in session as we see how well we do. Colin Bollinger is on the pole tonight. He was 21 hundredths quicker than Devin Curl. Then Daniel Brunelli finished off inside the top 3. Had an interesting run last night. Milwaukee Mile, Isaac Wilson will start in 4th. Row number 3, that's where you'll find Christian Barnes tonight. That driver last night was a contender, keep in mind, after a whirlwind of a race yesterday for a bit. Charles Robertson in the 17 will start in 6th. An interesting appearance this time, it's Anthony Marino Jr., who made the top 10 this evening, starting 7th. Landon Kelly will start in 8th tonight. Rounding at your top 10, it's Jack Fiffner and Dustin Lewis in the 8 car tonight. We'll start in 10th for C4.
Starting 11th, Brad Nelson in the 33. Joshua Gillen starting in the 12th position. 13th for Beckett Brown, making an appearance in the 2. Adam Holston, teammate, running the Bobby Allison throwback in 14th. 15th for River Hayes in the 81. Matthew Gary starts in the 16th spot. Row 9 belongs to John Ullman and Caleb Hunt. Your top 20, Jared Knopfschneider and Reggie Kine.
21st goes the way of Zach White, looking to avoid the chaos of yesterday. Kevin Hinson, the first 2 didn't qualify on the time. Then Dave Billings and Dylan Brumley are the drivers, a part of the 24-car grid tonight for Bristol, who are set to hit the high banks. They'll have a few laps of pacing before we get rolling here tonight. Your keys to victory here for Bristol.
stay out of trouble, navigate traffic, and don't burn up the tires, because you only get that one extra set.
Should be
Yours?
a fun night. Well, my key, survive, preserve energy. Make sure you're aware of your surroundings. Absolutely, I think is in that conversation too. I can see this to be a very interesting night with Bristol and Michigan on the docket. Two different mindsets in general. Two very long races. You better be ready for a whirlwind of a night. Looking like we're going to go one more pace lap. Now, one clarification, as you said, Morgan, Daniel Brunelli is actually the father to Tristan Brunelli. The youngster tonight is in the car winner over at South Boston Speedway using the name under Daniel Brunelli, hence why you may see that on your pylon tonight. So, let's get ready to go. Slim Chickens Cup Series competition ready to go here from Bristol Motor Speedway. It's doubleheader night here on the MRL. We're happy to have you with us here on VSPEED for this evening's coverage. It's Colin Bollinger up in control of this field. He looks trying to get a good launch alongside one of the best on the short tracks. You can battle with Devin Curl. Green flag is out. Curl is better on the gas. Initial start is immediately under review. They've cleared the black flag for now for Curl, but already chaos. Barnes on the bottom of the track, Lewis in the wall, everybody scattering behind.
Yeah, Barnes had a big issue off the corner. Lost a ton of spots and momentum and had everyone splitting around him. And I think he's able to settle out here, but he's back to 16th.
Yeah, that's not a great start for him, with him already on the apron, dropping back a little bit. Last night was involved in some of the big one.
Oh, there's
carnage.
a spin. Brad Nelson.
There he goes, inside wall for the glass man. No caution though, we stay green, single car spin. You'll see that happen the time here, Morgan, though that's the thing. A lot of drivers just so happen to just de-wedge or get loose coming off the corner and slide to that inside wall.
There's something about Bristol and the way that the top and bottom converge on the exit. Devin Curl, black flag. Oh my.
Well, he argues and said at the time of the gas pedal being hit that he went on green right as he crossed the line. But the counter argument he can absolutely make here, Morgan, and would be the context here is, usually you have to be the leader to lead them to the green. Now they've waved Curl's flag again.
This will be a story to watch all night long, see what it shapes up as. 45 has damage already right front on. Brumley is hurt, hit the wall somewhere around this racetrack.
So they are already doing another review, because this is important here for who controls things early on, because this stage can go so quickly. Right now Lewis on the bounce back, by the way. Machine looking to make some moves here to the inside of Kelly.
Matthew Gary with a problem up against the outside wall.
Towards the back of the field, the 35 slow off. Stay green. Let's see what happened this time.
I think he may have got a hand here from Gavin Hinson. Maybe not a big fan of Jersey Mike subs. It's hard. Yeah, there it is. And,
subs.
The 12 as well had an issue, but there's the contact. There's the result.
Adam Holston in the part-time machine tonight. That time with the bobble. And we still keep going. Already 10 laps plus off the board in stage number 1.
Oh, slide for Wilson.
Yeah, he got loose too. Everybody's having issues off the tighter turn 4.
Yeah, Holston had another moment, crushed the right front. See the damage there.
Yeah, I was about to say, obviously with this car, get away a little bit more with the contact, say at Bristol, but you still want the aero and have to make sure you don't damage suspension per se. It's not like the Gen 6 car where you go faster with it.
Yeah, the aero damage is not that big of a deal. It's the suspension now. Oh, and we have a spinner almost for Dustin Lewis. That's that seam we're talking about where the top falls away to the bottom. And if you hit it wrong, if you exit in the middle, it just de-wedges the car and wants to spin immediately. And there's nothing you can do to save it other than slam on the brake pedal.
Lewis, 11 of the points coming into tonight. 3 top 10s of the season. Now have to claw his way back to try and get the stage points at least. Once the top 10, if he can make some passes, Joshua Gillen letting cars like Hinson go by the way. Hinson, again starting towards the back, he got loose too.
Biggest mover of the race, Gavin Hinson, already plus 10. Next biggest gainer, Beckett Brown, is up 6 positions. The 7th spot.
Yeah, slowly but surely some of the drivers continuing to plug their way ahead. River Hayes also has a plus 6 in terms of some of those moves here. See that side by side building up here up the track for Beckett Brown. Brown tonight going to be running the 2 car, you can see. He's appeared a couple different numbers this season. He's in Aaron Baum's machine, technically, in terms of the owner points tonight. Haven't seen Aaron this evening or didn't appear last night either. He's appeared in some races, Caswell Glass Company Series. For comparison, Brown, when he's appeared though, has turned what was originally supposed to be spot starts into a championship contending run for the top 10 in the points.
Yeah, like we said earlier, and he's 6th in points and has run 4 or 5 less races than everybody else. He has been electric in this series.
You know who's doing electric things though? River Hayes. Seen that A1 make the pass on him. Should be one of your contenders for the race lead here, along with Curl in particular tonight, because River Hayes is another one of those short track aces. Last night, finally broke through for his first win in Caswell Glass Company Series racing the Milwaukee Mile. This is the type of race you expect him to find a way to cut his way through the field and get to the front with his teammate.
And now he is plus 7, starting from the 15th position, trying to get one more around Landon Kelly in the 95.
And haven't talked too much about this yet here tonight when it comes to Bristol. This version of Bristol, now with the modern day, very bottom oriented, but you will still see people, as you can see, search around to the middle top per se. Few people just could not rotate earlier on in the past little bit in terms of the races we've seen on various networks on the top of the track. Tonight though, Curl using that bottom to enter.
Oh, got blocked.
Up. Oh, that's lap traffic, Zach White.
Oh, and 3 wide, that's not good.
For the race lead, Bollinger's on the outside. Looking to try and pass by with the traffic, use them as picks here. Bollinger take advantage, looks like it's 3 wide now again. Gary squeezes Curl, and it's the 53 in front.
Oh,
no,
53
it's
got
not.
loose.
Remember those marbles? He just hit them.
He found them.
That's why you can't rotate up there, Morgan, and we just seen exactly why. He went way too high, jumped the cushion.
And all the way back, lost just over a second with that move.
So that will plummet him down as Gary just hit the wall. Bollinger lost a good quarter, if not a third of a racetrack, technically. By the way, second is not going to be Bollinger anymore. Anthony Marino Jr., where did he come from? He's gone up 5.
Yeah, finding speed for the 48. You drivers trying to not go laps down because they're only 5 seconds back right now. The leader is not all that far behind this group. I mean, it's about 10 seconds. But, I mean, one slide like we saw for the 53, and you are a lap down or more. Track position so important at this stage of the race.
Caution. Caution flag is out. It's front straightaway. It is Gary.
Gary, yeah.
35, crushed in the right front already. And around he goes, and that's because he had Bollinger on his bumper.
He may have got some help here. I would say he did. That's a carbon copy of what happened with Hinson.
Oh,
and Brunelli into the back of him.
Yeah, the 15-year-old slamming hard, and that demolishes the car. So that will send the 51 amongst those to pit road. What happened here for his sake? Smooth, and then all of a sudden, right here, has not a lot of time to check up.
Yeah, and you expect the 35 to keep rolling down the racetrack. I mean, I understand why he hit the brakes to try and get it straightened out, and ended up, of course, destroying the car with the damage. So that's unfortunate.
So Bollinger with that is the race leader because Curl, Brunelli, Marino Jr., and several others elected to come down and take a set. Do you like that call? That's going to be. That's going to be with less than 20 to go on the stage, and it doesn't matter. The 53 is going to be an EOL penalty for the cause of caution.
Ah, so now you're going to give the lead to Isaac Wilson. I mean, I can understand it because that just means you're not pitting in stage 2, or you're not pitting at the end of stage 1, and you're pitting at the end of stage 2, and that's it. I would imagine is why you would pit here. You essentially would save us at that way, then you'd have an extra one in the final stage. But the real winner of this is Isaac Wilson. Already the points leader could end up with a stage win if things go just right in these final 15 or so in the first stage.
A lot can happen here early on in this one. Part of this 200 lapper. Field itself getting itself sorted in the next moment. The Black Diamond Machine of Wilson, though, control the field in front of the Shady Acres car. Landon Kelly. Ripper Hayes, by the way, going to be amongst the top 5 here for this upcoming choose. So, got to make sure you don't hit the S in Bristol. Going to add an extra lap to make sure everyone gets the choose properly. And a lot of people making sure they don't hit that middle letter in the Bristol to make sure they don't have to go to the back. Of note, Wilson did choose the top. Fiftner is going to be the first one to choose the bottom of the racetrack of the 55.
Yeah, I like the top on the restart. I think it allows you to really roll momentum out of 2, and as long as you're clear out of 2, you should be able to do whatever you need to do. The bottom, you have to be able to stick it in the center and get off of the corner, or else you obviously will be back to second, if not even third, by the time they finish that first lap.
Well, we're going to see in a moment or so what happens here. Get the restart as they'll go around again. Of note, Brumley Amonso still down pit road with manual repairs. Fall multiple laps down. We are already with several who have lost the lead lap. Only 18 of the 24 lead lap already. So we get ready to restart with 15 to go in the stage. Well, Fiftner's got to line up quickly alongside the 93. He is not doing this right. He is way far back, and now he's going to have to make sure he doesn't speed. He's going to be offset no matter what now by a full car. This has destroyed the bottom as the outside gets the launch.
Yeah, that's not terribly helpful. I think that's probably going to frustrate Hayes and Barnes and everyone else on the bottom because they all just lost spots. They're going to all lose 4. Yeah, that's frustrating.
Off to a slow launch is Fiftner. He drops several spots as a result. And everybody zipping by on the outside. That includes Hayes. Zips on by. Race lead, though, could get interesting the next moment or so because Kelly is trying to set something up. We've seen okay runs from Kelly. In fact, a couple races early on, he seemed to be very powerful on the track. He's been quiet since then.
Let's take a driver cam moment as we watch the 95. Oh, Wilson had a loose moment there while we were away. So we have the 95 try and chase down the race lead. There's a look at Landon Kelly live. Oh, he's going to get to the outside. He got there.
He's at the door. Can he get the run on the outside? A little bit too high up on the exit. But Wilson is letting him at least try it here. Ramps the bottom, but the caution flag is out. Coming to 10 laps to go. 2 on the bottom of the racetrack in turn 3. Marino Jr., who is second at Dover in appearance there. Once those around, Caleb Hunt is the other one involved with a blown motor.
So there's Hunt in the 19.
Ray Lewis had been swatting flies, and then...
Oh, just loose on his own. Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, talk about trying to fight the loose conditions here. It is constant here. This track does not have a lot of grip in it in general, the concrete surface, and we're seeing just how difficult it is.
So on board with Caleb.
Right there, just naps. And as you expect, Hunt is getting the cause of caution here for this incident, but he's got a blown motor regardless.
It doesn't particularly matter in that situation, just the penalty points afterwards, I suppose. But yeah, tough hit for those guys. Oh, I bet he's looking forward to Michigan now.
Definitely. And I mean, I guess that's partly the bright side is you have a bad first race of the night, you can immediately bounce back for the second. You just got to make sure you're there for the second race.
And you just can't let it spiral, right? You had a bad start. Don't go try to chase and end up making a bad night even worse by pushing too hard in Michigan, which is a track that you can definitely get a little too aggressive off of turn 2, knock the fence down, or turn 4, knock the fence down, get loose, whatever have you, and make your day worse and someone else's day worse. So just maybe step away from the sim for a little bit, go get some food, and come back to this and get ready for Michigan.
Choosing this time by Wilson will choose on the top of the racetrack. Believe we may have seen a scrape to the wall because Kelly hit the wall. That's a good way to choose the outside, but everybody else keeping it smooth, no drama.
It is really easy to scrape the wall in this choose situation.
Especially if you don't let yourself focus enough, so to speak. If you just think, or just let your mind drift to get to that line, you might just scrape it.
Yeah, pretty easy to do here. For those of you wondering, we did set an over-under for cautions before the race. We set it at 14.5. Right now, working caution at number 2. We'll see caution 3 here, no question, in the next 5 laps for the stage, and one more guaranteed caution at lap 100. So far, our pace much, much better than 14.5 cautions. Good on all the drivers so far.
Going to be a 5-lap shootout for stage 1 here, with Charles Robertson up in the second spot on the restart grid, at least with the outside. Have a lot of front runners choosing it. Hayes did choose the inside. Let's find out if they get even up this time. 17 needs to get alongside, and it's going to happen again, is it not? Not lined up fully with the race leader on the inside as they come into the restart zone. Green flag is out. Better launch this time, though. There's a chance for side-by-side for second. It stays side-by-side.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why it hung back so far. I mean, 17 did a much better job this time than 15 did the first time, but still giving up a little bit of an advantage to Kelly on the outside.
Yeah, but still, fight is on for the 17 at least. Come up to 3 to go in the stage. Can Robertson find a way to clear to hold on to the spot for certain? Here we got loose, though.
So did Kelly.
Both of them having a little flick of the wheel as the 17 gets the better roll in 1 and 2 this time.
Battles on for 5th now. Hayes and Brown. Backing into the wall.
2 to go, already to a lap and a half. Brown trying to find a way to fight out with River Hayes. Hayes able to clear for now. 1 to go in the stage. Wilson in front. Reno Jr. just having to come down pit road as the 93 of Wilson controls things down the back straightaway. Able to lead since the pit stop situation. And now gets himself a stage win. Stage winner, Isaac Wilson. Robertson, Kelly, and several others also included. What's up there, Robertson? River Hayes was 4th. Brown, Hanson, Curl, Barnes, Fiffner, Lewis, got the top 10 at the line to come away with the end of the stage this time through. So it's the 93 who picks up stage 1, Morgan.
And that was exactly what that driver wanted after everyone in front of him pit. Bollinger got the penalty charge, of course. Wilson hung on for those final 15 or so to go get the stage win. That will be very valuable.
Extremely valuable, you think so? Absolutely, in terms of the point structure. And now, a lot of people already coming down pit road with this caution. Wilson, Curl, Brunelli did not make it down pit road, though. I don't know if that's by design here.
I wonder if Wilson didn't catch the pace car in time to be able to go down pit road.
I was about to say, Morgan, remember FLCC? We worked here a bit on that one with you in the production seat. They added an extra lap to make sure people didn't have issues with pit road for this reason.
Yeah, and I think that was the problem with Wilson. Curl and Brunelli already pit under the stage. I think they're good until we get to the end of stage 2, but Wilson might be in a bit of a tight spot here, depending on what fuel looks like. I don't know if he can make it the whole stage or not.
Yeah, this is interesting for him. Some of the others, like Curl, understandable because they just used the set and you don't want to burn up the extra. But a fair amount of drivers either came in for their first stops, or those who were in their second, a majority of them already had a lot of damage repair in their situations. Lewis and White amongst the EOLs with speeding penalties under this caution period. So now what do we see happen here is the huge question, because the fresh tires are going to be starting essentially 4th on back here for the restart.
River Hayes, the first off pit road with those fresh tires. Excellent stop, 13.8 in the box. That is very fast for the next gen car. Yeah, Wilson, Curl, and Brunelli, where do they go? Do they all pick one lane? How do they split? Well, a long way to determining your stage 2 winner right here.
Here we go. Choose for the Wilson on the inside. Brunelli wants those on, or rather Brunelli inside, Wilson outside. As a lot of the others get sorted, they'll add the extra pace lap to make sure everyone gets themselves sorted. A lot of people really slow trying to get through the choose zone in the first place.
Yeah, that's all the lap drivers, making sure that there's no lead lap cars behind them. One of the new rules added mid-season to try and avoid the carnage of when you're a lead lap car choosing and you pick a lane based on counting cars, and all of a sudden 4 cars on the bottom drop away because they were a lap down, and you go, well, I should have taken the bottom instead of the top. And that's why they do that. Just there's no lead lap cars behind them to be able to slow down for.
So we'll have 44 laps to go. Come up to the green flag. 44 laps to go. We race to lap 100 for stage 2 here tonight. Wilson start on the outside, Brunelli on the inside, Curl and Hayes, Robertson, Brown, Kelly, Barnes. Here we go for the restart zone this time through. So far, whoever's been on the outside really has controlled things. If they are the control car, the inside has struggled to even line up properly to the door. Here we go, the launch is on, and the tire spin is on. Caution flag is out. There goes Brunelli. Tristan Brunelli brings us under caution. He had 2 strikes last night at the Milwaukee Mile, and that stacks up the field.
Yikes. Hinson black flag as part of that. The other driver to get big issues out of that was Landon Kelly.
And Kelly, one of the drivers who was contending up at the front before the strategy. Yeah, huge contact for Brown. That
Curl too.
Toast.
Yeah, Curl got hit in the door pretty good. I don't know if it bent the toe link, but hard lick for the 15.
See how much these drivers just got coiled up. And then, of course, talk about a little bit older tires on the inside line. Needing to keep up quickly, smash the gas down, bye-bye car.
Oh yeah, right in the left front. And there's Kelly into the wall. They got put in the wall again by the 8. Let's watch the 95 again here.
Yep. Slam right into the rear end.
So there's a hit right there for Kelly, but gets worse. Got some help from Dustin Lewis, and that's really going to hurt the car. Yeah, there's black flag for Kelly. Oh, for probably hitting the 8.
And as you would expect, Kelly says, "Hi, I was there."
That wasn't. I thought that was going to be worse than that. Oh, we've stopped in front of him. I see. Okay. Regardless, driver's not happy.
Absolutely. That, as said, will put us under the caution. Robertson, with all that chaos, somehow came away with the race leader, Morgan.
Robertson is showing a lap down, or last car on the lead lap. I think he got spun in a way that he couldn't get back going, stuck on the banking.
I think you're right there, absolutely. Pardon me on that. Yes, you're right. I think he tried to get a waiver on the pace car because he had been in the top 5 at the top of the caution, got clipped at the very end by the 51, sat around the track, got stuck, got going, and by the time he got rolling, he was scored behind the pace car to confirm everything there. And he has gotten the wave. Choose already happening, as you can see, with Wilson, Hayes, Curl, a bunch of your top 3. Brown with the heavy damage is going to stay out on the racetrack.
I think you have to. If you're not overheating, you got to at least see what the car does. It was right dead center in the nose, so it shouldn't impact suspension. See what it does. If it goes into the corner, doesn't turn or spins, well, obviously you'll have to pit, but if it's got any kind of drive, let it roll.
So this puts us again into a spot where we'll quickly have a restart. Wells for several drivers. That includes Kelly amongst those who got them this time. Race control saying we have a long way to go. Remember, multiple races tonight. Here we go again. Restart zone time with the outside going to be for the 93, the inside for the 81. Side by side they go as they get ready to go. Hayes, this time you see right there how he's going to catch up. Going to get more bundled up here for the restart. Curl nearly had the tire spin this time, but it's Hayes trying to hold on to second. Looks to be a solid start this time here as the field runs away, and look at this. It's Hayes, as we would expect, with a bit fresher tires here, going on the attack.
Yeah, I think Brown is struggling right now. That car did not turn. Down in 1 and 2. Seems a little bit tighter than I think he wants it right now.
Yeah, and you can just see how much that car's wanting to slide up. The 81 is taking the race lead. Brown, in his sake, loses ground. Well, Hayes takes ground. Already approaching a third of the way done. It's the 81 up top.
And look who just rejoined the top 10. Well, Colin Bollinger, remember, was up front. Top 2 and 3 early. Charged with the caution, just now making it back into the top 10 for your pole sitter. Oh, there goes the 10 of Gillen.
Into the wall he goes. No caution. We stay green as he gets himself regathered. And an air slider, as a result there, will push him down the order yet again. A lot of people doing that here today. For those curious, the track temp is only at 96. Say only. It's pretty hot for Bristol standards, and it gets hotter the more laps we turn here. More drivers spin. It's Biffner for the caution.
Racing with Beckett Brown. Way up in the outside wall. Same thing we saw with Caleb Hunt, I think. Yeah, spot in the same spot.
Beckett Brown says, that's yellow? Well, yes, it is. In this case, there was another car involved.
Who's the other car?
I mean, he was side by side with the other car. And he was the wrong way around. Plus,
He was the
there's a
wrong
chance
way
he would have
around.
rolled up.
Yeah, the caution was for him facing the wrong way. That was the reason why it flew. But yeah, that's unfortunate for 55. Yeah, you just can't get up high on the exit 2. It just obviously spins around in a heartbeat. Saw it with Hunt. Saw it there with Pfiffner. Look at the weather. As you said, 95 degrees on the track. Mild day on the border of Virginia and Tennessee.
Yeah, you don't think about that until you're told, oh, look at the Google Maps.
Yeah.
I think it was with Dustin Ollis, actually. And Ollis turned to one of the broadcasts recently. It's like trying to talk about the quest to get into Knoxville, and apparently my memory had a desert. Apparently that's nowhere on that side of the state.
Yeah.
So I don't know where that came from in terms of childhood memories, but Tennessee's an interesting state.
It sure is. I've been to Bristol once, saw the night race there, and I think it was 2014. Logano won that one. Fun place to be.
River Hayes with all this, by the way. As we said, the race leader, first laps of the day. Now Hayes, he's already won 3 times this season. And you could argue the only reason he's not the points leader, he's missed 2 races. But so far, his wins have came at Phoenix, Chicagoland, Eldora. 3 vastly different racetracks, and really only one of them you can argue in the short track conversation.
Yeah, it's been a great season for him. Looking good at Bristol today, which again, nobody is surprised to see River Hayes up at the front, Devin Curl up at the front, Beckett Brown up at the front here at Bristol. Even like we talk about Isaac Wilson too. I mean, points leader for a reason. He has been lights out, top 5 every single time we go to a racetrack, whether it's Talladega where he won, whether it's Bristol or Phoenix or the road courses or Martinsville or anywhere. He always seems to be up in the top 5, just having a really solid day. Barnes has made his way up to the top 6. Hinson's up here as well. Bollinger is rebounding. We got a lot of the normal drivers up at the front, as well as Charles Robertson here in the top 10. Drivers we typically expect in the top 10 are doing what they're supposed to do tonight.
Let's find out how this goes here. With 2 teammates able to control things at the front of the field. Wilson is the only driver, remember, yet to pit. Might have some issues here on this restart on the top.
I think with all the cautions, this is playing right into the 93's hand in terms of being able to make it to the end of the stage.
I think so too. Just little pace laps. Curl didn't get a great launch. No one taking it 3 wide, obviously. We're back in our way. Wilson holds on to the top 3 for now, though, with Brown's damage. As everyone works their way through the shade, so to speak. It's Barnes, the first side-by-side.
Just trying to see what the top side has in store for him. Not much there. Wilson takes a look. Up top.
Yep, you see how much Wilson just trying to keep himself defensively here with 25 to go down with the stage. And the argument can absolutely be that when it comes to all this, the better you're able to keep the tires underneath you, the more likely you're going to be able to maintain here at a track like Bristol. And right now we're seeing how well Wilson's been able to maintain the tires. You're talking upwards of 50 lap difference in terms of his Goodyear Eagles compared to the others. But only so long he'll be able to defend, you'd think, especially with 2x2 with all the freshies behind Brown.
I almost wonder if the sun going down with the cloud is making this racetrack, as Reggie Kime has gone around, is making this racetrack have more grip on the high side. Yeah, we have a parking lot down here. And allowing drivers to run the high side faster. Because that's the best. It's the best the top's fired off yet.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
no.
Reggie Kime, that's the wrong way. I think he had contact with Nelson at first.
Yeah, we'll go back and try that one again here. A lot of cars involved in this one.
See him just trying to run the top of the racetrack at that point, but right there, hello door.
There's Moreno got him, and then Knopfschneider really hit him in the door. Oh, sorry, that was Landon Kelly hit him, and Knopfschneider came in and cleaned him off. And with the 95, let's see what he had. to deal with. Oh, yeah, he hit him a ton. Oh, man.
That quickly puts us to the yellow flag. So, going to be under 20 to go here. Here's the look now at the fast forward in the back. Well, he chose a lane.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the tough thing. You choose a line, you think, oh, there's not going to be any trouble, and then trouble finds you.
This is a hard racetrack to change lanes as well. If you pick the top, you don't have a lot of time to go choose the bottom. Car set, you add any extra wheel to it, you're going around, you pull wheel out of it, you're into the wall. It's not like where we're going to go with Michigan later, where if you enter on the top, you can exit on the bottom. I wouldn't advise it. It's not good for the tires, but you could do it if you really had to avoid something. So, quite a bit easier to avoid accidents in Michigan than here. Remind you of our number of cautions. We're sitting at 6 right now. So that 14.5 number is not looking too far out of reach now. You said, to be fair, you said 12, which is probably a more realistic number than the over. We'll find out.
Definitely so.
And of course, if you're going to gamble responsibly. We're just having fun up here. But, yeah, gambling is a slippery slope, certainly. So if you need help, find yourself the Gamblers Helpline.
Yep. Choose that time through. River Hayes chose the top this time. Wilson chose the bottom. Curl chose the top for reference amongst some of the off spread. And they'll set themselves up here, coming 118 to go in the race itself. And a stage that will see us back underway with, give or take, about 17 to work with on the board. Beckett Brown, EOL penalty.
Yeah, not sure. Penalties. Oh, it was speeding penalty. Okay, so not sure what happened to Beckett. He pit. He is the last driver on the lead lap. Knopfschneider, Brumley, and Marino Jr. are all many laps down. 6 or more for those 3 drivers. Caleb Hunt, only driver out of the race with the blown motor 41 laps ago.
Here we go, coming up for the restart zone. 81. Now 19 laps led after taking the lead moments ago in this one. Bollinger, for his sake, remember with the EOL earlier, has been able to get himself back amongst the top 6 or so. Back on our way with the outside with the power. Curl able to follow on the gas to Hayes. Barnes ready to go as well.
Curl cleared for second. Battle on for third. Just got to the quarter panel for the 27. Going to lose it off the corner. Important clear for the 93 as Hinson fights back on the bottom. Look at the run through the center for Hinson. Holy cow.
Yeah, Hinson doing a solid job off the launch for the Rob's Custom Wraps machine. They'll battle the Black Diamond machine as he charged the inside. Trying to find a way to get the clearance.
Robertson is around. Big
Another
crash.
Caution. Yet again, the crash as Brumley picks up last-minute contact. Yellow flags continue to reign. I think you're over, looking stronger.
Oh, Matthew Gary with the meatball flag. That is a day ender for the 35. Oh, man. It started with the 17, the same issue we've seen happen to a couple drivers tonight. Just that really loose moment on the high side of 2. This time he clipped the 8 of Dustin Lewis in the door, and then it just spiraled from there.
My goodness, yikes. See this again.
Yeah, he's, again, in that way high line. It just drops away right into Lewis's door and right in front of Gary. Nowhere Gary could go. Oh, yeah, you can see the left front not turning on the 35. Yeah, hate that for him. From Gary's view.
His sake, he's just thinking, What else can go wrong here tonight? Already involved in one caution.
Spun twice, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And there's, what can you do? I mean, that was right in his lap. Yeah, that sucks.
As you can see, that car was not turning out the contact. Lewis is looking to try and find some good points here tonight. Not having the funnest of nights at the least. As we're coming up to what will be, by the time we get gathered up, under 10 laps to go on the stage. A lot of speeding penalties here. Becca Brown picked up an R1 amongst those. Picked up penalties, and plenty are still getting damaged.
While we have a moment here, hate to do it while the car is wrecked, but Matthew Gary's driver cam, wanted to get him on a driver cam because, of course, he took the time to do that. Unfortunately, it's in a situation where that car is not rolling anymore. So appreciate you letting us have a view inside your race, Matthew, but sorry that didn't work out for you this time by.
Here's an interesting point with all the speeding penalties that we've seen tonight, by the way. How is this going to look penalty point-wise? Because race control just warned the field, hey, you're racking up penalties if you keep doing that.
It's a very difficult racetrack to not speed. It's so short, and I believe they figured out pit road speed. It's an average. Well, I know it is. It's an average distance over time. It's not a odometer speed per se or a speedometer speed per se. So basically, it's how fast you go between point A and point B, being the sections on pit road. Now, of course, pit road being at some points straight, some points curved, the arc of that corner matters. If you run the very bottom, you're obviously getting from point A to point B very much quicker than running the high side of pit road. So if you go down to the bottom and you really go, 35 miles an hour all the way around the bottom, you'll end up speeding because you've gone too fast in that corner section. It's really, really easy to speed here. It could put you in a bad spot. And multiple speeding penalties will trigger some extra penalty points, which will hurt you later in the season as well.
Let's find out with under 10 to go what happens here this time. It's going to be an interesting battle for some of the drivers in the next moments or so here in this one as we regroup. Green flag is out. We're back on our way. We see any slides this time? No. This time it's a good launch for Hayes, and Hinson's in second. A lot of people having issues at the back, but the front of the field looking solid.
2x2. That's fifth on back. Wilson's going to get the run on the straightaway. Oh, moment for Curl. Loose on the bottom. Wiggle at the racetrack.
A little bit on the wiggle side for a couple competitors, but the rest of the field just continues to rumble their way to 6 laps to go. Hinson is attacking for the race lead of note. Up at the front, look at that. His Ford really charging on entry. This time Hayes covered it off.
Yeah, he's been working the entry more than anybody else has.
Right here, watch, right here. This time he backed it up, trying to go to the bottom at the very least, 5 to go. And it's a fine balance of the lines. The bottom of the racetrack used to always be known as the tire-saving line. If you wanted to charge hard, try the middle. That got the best of both worlds. Top line was the line that you shoot up the right side tires, went up to the front. A little bit of a change of the dynamic now with this Bristol at this point. Hinson not afraid to use a bit of the middle and the bottom here in hybrid mode.
I was always a fan of just rip the top. The only next gen race I did here, I started out back and drove all the way through the field to a top 10 on the high side and still had some of the best tire wear in the field. It's possible to do. Oh, Bollinger has an issue. Goes down below the line, going to fall back in the clutches of Brunelli. It's possible to do. You just have to be careful to not really hurt that right front tire. There's a measured approach to it.
Down to the final lap of the stage here. It's River Hayes in front. It's been a busy night so far, Bristol, with plenty of caution flags. Matthew Gary amongst the newest DNFs, but River Hayes showing why he's a good short track racer. Gets the front, wins a stage. At the halfway point, he's up in front over Hinson, Curl, Wilson, Barnes, Bollinger, Brunelli, Gillen, Biffner, Kelly. Amongst your top 10. And where's the stage caution? There it is.
There it is. Yeah, they missed that one a little bit.
That's actually going to add an extra pace lap, possibly. No, I think they got it just in time, but everyone's just going to have to slam with a pace car. Oh, this is going to cause an issue for pit road because some of the people are pitting.
Yeah, that is the same thing that happened to Wilson earlier. That's going to bite Hayes and Hinson. Yikes.
That is something that may get talked about after this. River Hayes wins the stage, but is going to lose the track position likely. This is already 8 cautions, including 2 stage cautions here tonight. And now, this is going to be Hayes, Hinson, Robertson, Kime, Holston on the track. But Robertson, Kime, Holston, once those yet to pit in. Look at that. Hayes by design didn't pit here, but Robertson at least will.
Robertson should have been able to pit the first time around. He wasn't up in that spot, if I'm not mistaken. So Hinson and Hayes, I understand, because they were right behind the pace car when it came out. But I'm curious to why Robertson didn't choose to pit in that situation. But I mean, I suppose we're about to find out how far we can go on fuel.
Yeah, I think this is kind of a plan, though, of why not save as many tires as possible. I don't know what he's going to use the extra 3 sets for, maybe extra 2, but it gives him a bit more flexibility. It becomes caution precaution, right? And get himself for the freshest tires with a caution with, say, 30 to go.
And speaking of caution precaution, we're already up to 8. Final scheduled caution happening right here, of course, but yeah, 8 of them already in 104 laps.
So overall, what's your opinion so far of the night in general? It's been an interesting one so far.
Yeah, pretty solid. I mean, a few more yellows than I think drivers were looking for. Most of the issues happening off of turn 2 on that very high side. Drivers just making the mental error of driving up there. Single car spins for the most part, though a couple drivers with some heavy damage. I mean, I haven't seen any really like egregiously aggressive driving as compared to, say, last night, for example. It's been pretty tame, pretty calm. And, yeah, it's just kind of Bristol, kind of what you would expect.
Well, so far the Rocky Top State has definitely brought some rocky moments for a couple drivers. But as you can see, Reggie Kime with everything. Going to be on the inside, row 1. Heavy rear end damage, keep in mind, to that 9 machine. The deck lid crushed in, the spoiler crushed in. One of the things we haven't even talked about tonight is faster speeds compared to last year too on this track. You also notice there isn't that bottom part of the car, so to speak, underneath the bumpers that you normally see at a majority of the racetracks with the bodywork.
Right, no rear diffuser.
And we've seen how the difference has been in terms of the downforce level with the higher horsepower.
We've seen a lot of drivers end up spinning off of 2. That is mainly because of those changes.
Definitely adds more challenge for the drivers, something in real world a lot of people wanted to see. Reggie Kime doesn't get a good launch on the bottom. He's already been passed by 3 different cars, nearly 4. Reggie Kime sinks like a rock, nearly spins it again.
Oh my goodness. Brunelli tried to go through a hole that was not there. Oh, Knopfschneider stuck against the inside wall. That car appeared out of nowhere.
Race control was aware of that, by the way. 82, Knopfschneider said he's got too much damage. 3 wide.
Oh, there goes Lewis. Yeah, into the wall.
Could see that coming, and Lewis is still spinning it.
Still
slams the wall again.
That is so frustrating for Lewis. Just, I think no other driver has run as well, but had as poor situations around him as Dustin Lewis. This guy is always involved in stuff that he really doesn't have an option to get away from.
That in mind, some of the gaps are really growing up here. Look, Kelly trying to find his way around for 6th. Brunelli from his damage, still doing a solid job after his slide earlier, despite how heavy that right side's crushed in. Nearly spun it again.
These cars look like they're racing around in like a 1995 Bristol race with how beat up and damaged most of these cars are. We're looking right here, obviously, at 6 and 7, both of which have heavy nose damage. Some have rear damage, too. But still, just fast enough.
Now, as they continue to sawzall around on the racetrack, we'll find out just how much the long run speed is going to matter for some of these drivers here. You see Zach Whiteamunzo's rolling on the bottom of the racetrack. He had some smoke kicked up there. We stay green, the 77, not a short track racer.
Oh,
Making
put him in the
track
wall! Oh my
goodness.
goodness. Yeah,
We had
that's
the both thought.
yeah, that. Oh, and he's gonna stop it in the racetrack. Yeah, there's the yellow. Yeah,
They need to be cautioned there with the stop of the racetrack.
there's a lot of points to be going around after that one.
Here's a question. How many people get the chance to race technically with the penalty points, or is that going to allow you to race tonight?
That's a big hit. I mean, the penalty points, how it works is you accumulate 2 for causing a caution. There's some for rough driving, some for some self-spins and other things. If you accumulate 12 on the season, it's an automatic 1-week suspension. Landon Kelly and Tristan Brunelli, both fairly new to the... Well, I mean, Kelly's been here for a while, but pretty clean. Brunelli, new to the series, not going to hit 12 anywhere near that, so they will be able to race in the next one. I want to watch that again from the in-car here and just see how big this hit was.
Right there.
It's the next corner, I think.
Yes,
Because
you're
there's
right.
the 51. They're racing hard, don't get me wrong, but he got used up.
Try this again. Right there.
Yeah, I mean, that might have also been a netcode incident. Looking at how hard that car jumped. Either way, that thing is obviously destroyed and comes to a stop on the racetrack. I am shocked the back part of the field is able to avoid him. Like, shocked.
So another big caution flag. Landon Kelly, as expected, believe going to be on the tow truck at minimum for that one. Knop's not a part of the DNF list already. We have 3 out. Marino Jr. did at least come back from his damage repair. Keep going. But still, it's River Hayes up in front, yet to pit in this stage. Some of the others who are on track, who are trying to stop it out, did take the tire set for the tire offset of nearly 20 lap pressure tires here, Morgan, for the start of the stage at least.
Yeah, really the only driver kind of upside down on strategy right now is Hayes, being that he's 50 laps on the wrong side of this thing. Everyone else would be able to make it to the end on fuel. Hayes the only real question mark.
Yeah, so far it's been interesting on the strategy game. Now for Devin Curl, it's going to be in that fuel window to make it technically here tonight. He looks to try and pounce here with a bit of fresher rubber. Next time by, they'll get rolling here. A few drivers from the penalties also got EOLs once again. That included Holston this caution period.
Yeah, I think it was speeding for Holston.
Yes, another speeding penalty. I think Nelson just said he got one too. Chooses good this time for the restart. As we plan things out with Wilson holding on to the top 4. Bollinger, though, on his recovery, Morgan, has gotten himself up to 3rd here.
Has a decent shot at 2nd if he's able to get a good jump on Curl.
Here we go, green flag
There's
is
the
out, back
jump.
and away.
He got him.
Inside again, didn't get the best of launches. It's been that way all night. Outside, gets the power again. Just see how much that outside again prevails every time with the ability to power off the corner compared to the battle with the tire spin on the inside. Oh, this is while Christian Barnes, the Munsters trying to get side by side. First one to do so.
23, there's 27 stepped out a little bit. Trying to get to the inside of the 93, was able to stick it on the bottom. Got some pizza to deliver, it seems. Going there in a hurry. Another driver off the pace. That's Dave Billings on the front stretch.
Yep, right now you just see how much some of the drivers continue to fight on the racetrack, and most of the cloudy skies start to get more and more cloudy, by the way. Track temp has dropped to the mid-80s now on the circuit. Remember, it was about 10 degrees hotter about 30, 40 minutes ago. This track has really taken a bit of a turn because of all the cautions, but also just how much the cloud cover has made it really look like almost nighttime.
And I think that is the reason you're able to run the high side so much better. The more grip up there makes it faster. Should allow you to rip the high side even better later in the run.
Still seeing side-by-sides pop up as Brunelli loses the inside. It's Curl trying to hold on down there. His initial slide off the restart. Curl, though, as he fights the car, doing a good job of the side-by-side. And Devin Curl, for his sake, when he's made starts in the Cup Series, has looked solid. One-time race winner. All his top fives also have been his only top 10. So it's been boom or bust. Top 5 or sub-top 15 when it comes to 15 as they stack up for fourth.
3 wide, and there it goes into the outside wall. Brunelli's around. There is the flag.
Caution, flag is out yet again, and the cautions continue to pile up once again here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Boy, oh boy, this is continuing to come up to play. That was similar to what we've seen in Milwaukee.
Yeah, just a case of 3 wide. I don't know if Wilson realized it was 3 wide, but just nothing that you could do if you're Brunelli. You can't really go to the bottom, can't go to the top. Ends up going off the nose of Hinson.
This does mean pit stops for the 15, around the 81 of
15
River
as well.
Hayes.
Bollinger
yeah,
too.
15 also. And a lot of your main drivers up front come in, but Wilson does stay out, not surprising. Hinson to second with this. So now it becomes a kind of a strategy roulette. I almost feel like track position is going to be a lot more valuable with the way things are going here. We're already coming to 70 to go.
Yeah, it has that feel to it. That strategy is going to be a factor, and it typically is in the Mystic Racing League on short tracks for whatever reason. It seems like when you pit matters a great deal to how well you finish.
Kind of does, absolutely. And now, as Wilson rides the pace car for fun, this field's completely been scrambled apart here. Joshua Gillen with the call, by the way. He's amongst those who have taken slides. The Krusty Burger car is in the top 5. Can the 10 be amongst those to keep it up here? Lewis is also up in 4, so a few drivers hoping for miracles to hope their cars stay alive.
Yeah, Lewis has had a rough night tonight. And the fact that he's running up in the top 4 is a very good sign, because that car has been beaten and battered all night long.
So we get ready for the choose. This time you see outside for the first 2 cars. First inside, Christian Barnes. He likes to be different that way. River Hayes did choose the outside. That actually gains him a couple spots along with Bollinger. Going to be interesting to see what happens with those up top shelf. We get the restart with the fresher tires. Going to be stacked up right behind those staying out here.
Yeah, Curl too took the top. So Curl being back in 9th, wanted the high side instead of gaining spots on the bottom. I mean, we've seen it all night long. The outside has been able to launch and gain at least 2 positions. The only time I think we saw a driver stick with the bottom was, I don't know if it was Curl or if it was Brunelli. or maybe Robertson was able to stick all the way through turns 1 and 2 and then end up conceding the spot later, but still hung on for much longer than anyone else has.
Race control just got an interesting thought process here of what's the difference, Morgan, between speeding and accidental speeding? I think I stumped you.
Yeah,
Becca Brown's trying to claim he accidentally sped. He said on the radio, "Oh, it's the same thing."
Well,
I think it's accidental.
I think what they're saying is that if you're intentionally speeding to get more damage repaired, which is a thing you could do here, that's a penalty. Speeding because you can't keep your foot regulated, that's a whole other story.
I think it was half joking is what I was trying to get at. But race lead is off and away again, by the way. As you can tell, though, Hinson's going for it. Hinson blocked off immediately, rides the bumper, resets to the inside. All while Barnes and Hayes are side by side. Now it's Hinson to the inside to take the race lead.
Oh, Hayes into the wall.
Oh, a little bit of trouble back there as he's able to still reset for fourth. Hinson is going for the point still.
Alongside Wilson has the preferred line of bottom. Caution is out. Who was that?
Marino Jr.
Marino
Jr. was the wrong way around for a full corner. You're going to have to break down this thought process because I'm 99% sure he tried to turn it around on the track.
Oh, yeah, there's the loose moment off at 2. Got stuck against the outside wall. Oh, he hit that wall hard.
I kind of get what he was trying to do, but that was a little bit way too fast for that.
Yeah, I think he was hoping that when he hit that transition between the concrete and the asphalt that it would just whip the car around, but obviously didn't do that and backed into the wall. The high rate of speed. Gonna have to get a new rear clip on that down Motorsports 48.
Yep, already into the pit lane. He's already taken heavy repairs once. By the way, that's your last car on track. Right now, the over's looking very good, but we still have 11.
Spicy, that's for sure.
I mean, shouldn't be nearly as caution number-wise at Michigan, by the way, for those curious. Remember, be sure to stay tuned here on the network tonight on VSPEED, because we are racing in Michigan. That will be approximately practice starting 10 minutes after the conclusion of this race. And then, after about 30 minutes of practice and qualifying, should be getting ourselves going for the Michigan portion of the night, where that's still going to be 125 laps, 250 miles, technically, Morgan. In theory, that's just about full distance still for a Mystic Racing League Cup Series.
Yeah, that's going to be a long one. Those laps go by in about 40 seconds if you're at full song, but in the caution laps take forever around that racetrack. But and fuel mileage almost always comes into play at Michigan.
Always when it comes to that, absolutely.
And Mystic Racing League loves a good fuel mileage race. So do we at VSPEED, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Love fuel mileage. But Michigan is just like the perfect place because of how big it is and how far you can stretch it on fuel with just a little bit of lift and coast into corners.
With the choose, by the way, Wilson chose the outside again. Barnes again chose the inside, as expected from them, as we get ready to fight it out again.
I wonder if you're the first car on the inside, if you can just be with the leader, or if you're going to be halfway down their door like Barnes is now, why don't you just creep up a little bit faster than the leader into the restart zone? It's not really speeding if you're just doing it to maintain, but when you're already starting at their spoiler, how are you supposed to time it properly without losing multiple car lengths?
Yeah, let's find out here. Under 60 to go now. So it's Wilson and Barnes on the front row yet again. Hinson and Bollinger, row number 2. Back straight away at the moment, should say, how things are shaping up here. We are still working, by the way, with 15 cars on the lead lap. Beckett Brown is the last on the lead lap currently. He's going to be amongst those starting at the tail on the top, believe. And never mind, he's going to get the yellow penalty regardless. He exited closed pit. Wilson off and away. Outside gets a jump again. Hinson following suit. Just about cleared though. Barnes kept side by side. River Hayes clears for fourth though.
It's a good example of the opposite of what I was talking about for that restart. Somehow still worked out for second, at least for the moment. I think now Hinson's going to be able to almost clear.
Yep, not done yet though.
Barnes
Restarting is
shifted
under
in
review.
there.
Tried it, didn't work. Oh wow, River Hayes will switch to the inside this time. He'll get himself to the door, try and find his way around for the third spot. Remember, River Hayes continuing to make his way through. No penalties.
Oh,
here.
wall contact
no.
for Barnes.
Here we go again. More wall contact, more touches once again for the competitors as they continue to boom shakalaka through all of this. Bollinger nearly squishing Barnes into the wall for a moment, now flares up the racetrack to clear.
I've been working with Ron Mons too much.
What do you mean by that?
Dropping a boom shakalaka mid-race.
I mean, it's
Wild
about having
time.
fun.
It is. Wild times here on VSPEED. Oh, leaders in the wall. Heavy damage to the nose, Isaac Wilson. All by his lonesome up front. Hit it again.
Wait. Oh, he's getting a little bit trouble handling wise here. 2 straight hits the right front to reinforce the damage. Nearly did it a third time. Last time by though, his lap time 3/10 off the rest of the pace, and Hayes is coming. He's trying to charge his way to the inside, looking to stick to the bottom of the circuit. He hangs on the door.
Oh, loose moment for Hayes. Back up the racetrack. Will save the car, but lose the spot.
Now they reset yet again here with 50 to go coming up here from Bristol. See right now, Wilson continuing to try and get the gap will be built up here, so to speak. Right now, his gap holding on by near 4/10 of a second on the racetrack.
The Hinson gains so much into the corner and then just loses a little less than he gains on exit, just slowly inching his way up there.
Taking his time, if you will. Trying to find his way slowly but surely into the conversation. Don't rush it. Don't burn up the tires. Make sure your Goodyear Eagles survive, especially with the carnage we've seen tonight.
Wilson hit the wall again.
At this point, I give Wilson 20 laps. The tough thing is, how long can he hold on? We know Hayes has a faster car than Hinson right now. He's trying to go for second.
That's the best thing that Wilson can see is those two side by side behind them. For one, it's eating up both of their tires, and two, it's making them both slower, allowing Wilson to get away. Wilson on the wall again off of 4. Hinson's there.
Hinson yet again playing defense, not allowing the run for the slightly fresher tires of Hayes. All 3 in the battle to build up the
There
run
it
of
is.
93. Build it high side, smoke in front. It's Hinson to the race lead. They're able to swap around as Hinson goes to the point. Here comes Hayes now to the bumper just about.
And don't look now, Curl and Bollinger are in the mix as well. There's Hayes to the bottom. Makes the dive to the yellow line. Not quite able to clear on the exit. Still on the corner. Should be able to dive down here and get that spot away cleanly. Yes, now it's up to Curl to follow his teammate through. Curl almost contact with Wilson as they battle for third.
See all of them slipping and sliding around the track. Wilson had to lift off the gas, go on Bollinger with some contact. Push the 53 down the circuit. And now they're getting a little bit physical here. McNair a bit of a push again. Bollinger clears. His delusional machine able to clear on by. But
Handling has gone away on the 93. Clearly, he's fallen back a number of spots, and now falling back into the clutches to Christian Barnes.
Not a surprise per se, though, but now here comes the question. Find out how well things go for him. Some of the errors in the middle of the field having a bit of a whirlwind, to say the least.
Yeah, Pfiffner and Lewis have been having an interesting day, I think is probably the easiest way to put it. A lot of carnage for both those drivers. Brad Nelson involved some accidents as well. Beckett Brown had a lot of speeding penalties tonight. Drivers throughout the field all have their own stories to tell. As Beckett way up against the outside wall, didn't spin there. Good driving by the two.
Great driving, actually, for Beckett Brown there. Looking at a couple of the others again. Pfiffner.
Pfiffner's on a roll right now.
Yeah, remember, he was one of the drivers who spun the wrong way around at one point. Robertson couldn't get the bottom of the stick as he now has lap cars attacking him.
And Pfiffner just passed 2 cars in the last 3 laps. Got Lewis, they got Robertson. Robertson really off the pace here. Slowest car on the racetrack right now is the 17.
I mean, he is demolished on the left front, the right front.
I can see why, but
it's a tough thing. Bristol can sometimes really wear you out in terms of the efforts, in terms of the damage in particular here. But up front, Hayes did take away second, as we've seen. Curl is in third, but already Hayes is going for the lead.
Hinson leaving that bottom open just a little. Gives Hayes an opportunity. Now he's going to block Curl. Trying to get a really aggressive diamond off the corner. Big run for the 81. Not quite enough to get to the back bumper of the 39 as they approach lap traffic.
It's going to be a bit of a whirlwind for some of the drivers in a moment or so. Right now, you see how much Curl is going to the outside. Here he goes. Trying to make his way through. Now they're side-by-side boxed in. Curl hits the wall. Hayes yet to get clearance. Still boxed in behind Hinson. And when they reach the lap traffic, that's going to potentially swap things around a fair bit. Curl will take his chance and peel his way up to second here, but Hinson trying to force them into a battle.
Car they're going to catch is Dave Billings, ARCA driver here for the Mystic Racing League. Damage on the nose. Where does Hinson go? He picked the wrong lane. That's the one with the 14 in it. 3 wide on exit with the leaders.
Curl able to clear by, but stays alongside Hinson in the process. They battle hard. The next car up is white. Contact down at the front straight away. Bollinger is now the one in third spot, by the way. Now they're nearly dooring each other. Under 30 laps to go from Bristol.
And look at the gaggle in front of them. 4 cars, varying degrees of side by side. Where does Zach White go? Zach White goes to the high side. Hinson picked wrong again. But Nelson on the bottom for Curl. Dooring each other again. There goes around. Great save by Curl.
Curl nearly goes around, but he's demolished the right front with that. Now it's Bollinger nearly running into traffic. Hinson trying to run away. Hinson 17 laps so far led tonight. Now just looks to try and survive. So far, Hinson 15th in the points despite 5 top 10s on the season. This would be a big break for his season if he was to hold on. But right now, drivers like Curl, like Hayes, look to regroup. They're 8/10ths back of that 39 who's under attack by the hard-charging Bollinger.
Beckett Brown, the next driver they're going to have to work around. Brown's on the outside wall. That's going to be negative for Hinson again, who cannot seem to get around the lap cars. Oh, 3 wide on exit. I don't like this.
Oh, they're not clear. Still not clear. Brown's in the wall trying to get out of the way. Now they're coming up to Reggie Kime next. Bollinger has a faster car right now. 13 lap pressure tires, remember, with the caution periods. A little bit better on rotation off. 53 has the limp though, nearly spun it off of 4. Now that keeps them side by side yet again. Bollinger still cannot clear despite the faster car as Kime parks it on Hinson's nose.
This should do it for Bollinger. All he has to do is get around the 9. He's clear of Hinson. Hinson has to slide in behind the 53 to get around Kime. Yeah, Hinson chose wrong on the lap traffic like 4 or 5 times in a row. Going to do it again here. He's going to have Curl to the inside. Is there 3 wide off the corner? Where does Kime go? Oh, that was almost a caution.
Remember, Bollinger was the one who picked up the win at Dover, the last short track and the last time out in this series. That was a couple weeks ago on April the 10th. And right now it is his race to lose. 7 tenths, now near 8 tenths up, with Curl and Hayes both stuck behind with 20 laps to go this upcoming time by.
And Hinson on the oldest tires of this group doing a fantastic job staying up in the contention here. Just not quite enough for Colin Bollinger. As you mentioned, 20 laps remaining.
How long does the patience last if you're the 15 or if you're the 81, obviously? Don't want to end up causing troubles for Michigan. Curl again trying to dive. Yet again, wasn't able to get the run. Going to cause a reset as the gap's gone up to 1 second.
He's there.
Just don't think he's got right now what he needs to get the run where he needs it. Gonna have to be right along the edge of the fender at least, down the straightaway. Can't get there. Hayes actually got alongside him.
Now Hinson's trying to block both lanes as it's now 1.5 seconds up to Bollinger.
Right now, these drivers need a caution flag. I think that's going to be the argument here with the way the gap's growing up. Keep in mind, Bollinger may be potentially in the Auto Tires Club. Hinson, Hayes, and a few others have plenty of sets to work with. Right now, we're working our way under 15 laps to go. A defensive masterclass for Hinson late in the going. By the way, out of this group, Barnes is in the top 5 on the oldest tires in the field, along with Isaac Wilson in 6th. They're 3 and 5 seconds back, respectively, though, for the race leaders. Fiftner has helped withstand the pressure and got himself up to 7th. Gillen and Robertson are the other close battles on the racetrack.
Lewis rounds out the top 10. 13 seconds behind your leaders. There they are entering the corner.
Yeah, this drive late in the going, perfect for Bollinger, who didn't find his way to the race lead till technically after causing the first caution flag. Got an EOL, charged back to the field. Hayes, for his sake, going to try things a little differently. Remember, Kroll tried the bottom to build up momentum. He's going to try the high side, a little bit higher up in the group, diamond off the corner, get that cut like right here, try and find a way to at least get to the bumper of the 39, maybe get alongside on an exit.
Got to be careful doing it off of 2. If you get too high, you see the spins as we've seen all night. Like he just tries to get momentum off of 2 and do that dive off of 4. Hinson, loose moment. Kind of force Hayes up top.
I think Hayes was going to go up there regardless. The problem is that checked him up down the straightaway. Now Hayes with an opportunity this time to set up an opera side by side. Maybe no, got loose. Lap traffic, Holston moves out of the way. Gap is now 2 seconds for the race lead. Now it's Hayes with under 10 to go, looking for any way to pick up one extra spot, help his championship points haul a little bit more. Curl will try and get it back.
This has got to be a lot of fun right now if you're these 3 drivers. Hinson defending, the 2 teammates trying to get around him, trying to pass each other as well as they work through lap traffic. Ullman on the high side. It's going to hurt Hinson. Oh, into the door. Hinson's around and wrecked on the front stretch.
Caution flag is out as Hinson drifts into the racetrack. And that is the caution Bollinger may not have wanted to see with him out of tire sets potentially. Now, what do you do as the pace car is about to come out and pit road's about to open?
Wow. I think you have to stay out if you're Bollinger, Hayes, and Curl. Even Barnes probably you should pit. Hopefully you bring everyone with you, but Hinson's got to pit. That's heavy damage, probably motor-induced damage as well. That is a heartbreaker for what was going to be the first podium of the year for Gavin Hinson.
Barnes, Hinson, Lewis, Gillen, Robertson amongst those in. So basically the top 5. Bollinger is coming in, but it's the wrong pit entry. No, check that. That's not. There is the blue line. This is a single pit lane, is it not?
This should be single pit lane, yes, but he hit it on the right side. Let's see here, off the nose. No, this is dual pit lane.
This is dual. I'm not sure why the blue line was there. Just wanted to confirm before I continue that point.
Yeah, I don't think there's a blue line.
That's interesting, to say the least. But in all seriousness, though, Bollinger does pit to give Hayes the lead late.
Yeah, I don't love that call. Especially since it was only 2 tires for Bollinger. Pfiffner as well got out. Sorry, Pfiffner did not pit. But that's going to put Bollinger back to 5th behind Hayes, Curl, Wilson, and Pfiffner. Yeah, I don't like that call from Bollinger.
Yeah, but now, with under 5 laps to go, tire spin's going to be potentially a possibility here. We've already seen that once or twice here, Morgan. That's going to be really concerning, I think, here.
Yeah, that's the struggle. I think if you're Hayes, Curl, Wilson, and Pfiffner, is being able to launch without spinning the tires. We saw it happen to Brunelli, and it got right into Curl's door from the bottom. The high side I don't think is that big of a deal because you can kind of control the launch and you have a bit more banking to deal with. But if you're launching from the bottom, it's right in the spot where the tires get light and the banking falls away. You could end up sideways and destroy your race. As Wilson's going to go down there and try it, really not much to lose here. As Hinson's back up in the top 6. Yeah, Bollinger only on a 9th after pitting.
And he took 2 tires, by the way, on that.
That's right.
So
I just don't like that call. I don't understand it.
Unless he thinks the field's going to wreck.
But I mean,
don't know about
you can't bank on a caution and green white checker in a track where you're only going a mile, right? It's a gamble. Barnes, the first driver on fresh tires, in 4th. Will restart 2nd on the inside. Pfiffner on the old tires on the top, and then Hinson, Robertson, Gillen behind them. Everyone has pit for 4 tires, and then Bollinger back in 9th. I wonder if because of where Bollinger pit on the racetrack, if he ends up losing those spots to pit a lap later, why he's back to 9th.
Or 3 and 4.
Yeah, however that worked. Something was weird with the pit roads here.
Now, the schedule did say single pit road for that argument. There is a blue line if in some views, depending on your graphic settings. You
Yeah,
we
actually can't see it now. You're right. So he did pit legally. I just think it was a lap later based on when the pit car came out. It was just the whole issue there. But regardless, 3 to go. Bet is made. Curls on the pedal. Oh, Wilson with a big slide, and Barnes going to force a 3 wide.
It's River Hayes in control in front now. All while Barnes didn't get the run. He was looking for Bollinger, is already charged to the top 5. But the white flag's coming out final time around. Bollinger is out of time. Right now, Hayes with a sizable gap in front. He's led more than 70 laps tonight. River Hayes with a pit call by Bollinger gets himself the lead and gets himself the win. It's going to be River Hayes in Bristol. River Hayes picks up the win. That is his 4th of the season, a series high, and it's back to Sofanu's victory lane for car 81.
Benefited from the pit call. He had a fast enough car to get it done anyway, but the pit call sealed the deal, gave him the lead. Got the restart on Curl and never looked back.
Might have a wild moment, by the way, if we can, because we do have a car upside down on its lid, or did in the past moments. Christian Barnes, after the flag, managed to flip at Bristol. That's because he had contact from the 17, and then they crashed hard into turn 1. Watch this coming up to the final time around into the checker.
A lot of cars getting right hooked into the wall there. Hinson, I think, was another one.
obviously Barnes sitting there thinking, what did I just do?
Well, that could have went better.
He still finished in 6th. Still a top 10. But unofficially, River Hayes does pick up the win, mind you, over Curl, a team 1-2. With Fiftner in the top 3. Wilson, Bollinger, Barnes, Robertson in the top 7. Hinson, Gillen, Holston, your top 10.
Finishing 11th tonight, Beckett Brown 1 lap down. Dustin Lewis right behind him in 12th. John Ullman 13th. Reggie Kime will finish in the 14th spot. Brad Nelson P15. Dave Billings in the 16th position. Zach White 17th in 21 laps behind the pace. Marino Jr. 41 laps down in 18th. Brumley 19th. And Brunelli 70 down in 20th.
21st goes to Kelly, also part of the DNF club. Knob Snyder, Gary, and Hunt. Also a part of that club here this evening. As we started with 24, we ended up with 10 on the lead lap here tonight at Bristol. But that victory lane gets itself filled up. That caution count, I believe, was on the money at 12.
We were on the under. 14.5 was the number. Yeah, we were definitely on the under. You said 12, and that was a good call.
Well, we got 12, and River Hayes got the call to get himself to victory lane. Sofanu's victory lane tonight. River Hayes. River, were you expecting Bollinger to give up the lead there and give yourself the lead late?
No, I definitely didn't think so. Especially not after missing pit road the first time. It's so difficult because depending on where the caution comes out, pit road opens very quickly. And he missed it the first time, so I was expecting, okay, we're just gonna, go offset of him and figure it out on the restart. But he ended up pitting, and I think he just expected a lot more cars to go with him. I knew that I couldn't go down. If I went down, I knew my teammate wasn't going down, and he was behind me, so I just stayed out and hoped for the best. And obviously, we only had a green-white checkered there, so it was smooth sailing.
So, obviously, Bristol, definitely an interesting track now. How do you feel about this Cup package compared to, say, some of the air packages now, especially with the higher horsepower? And we've now had a couple weeks to adapt to it for the short tracks. And how did it, in turn, fare out at bottom feeder Bristol?
Yeah, well, I don't know what happened in qualifying for me. I just could not find speed in the car. Started 15th and just bided my time there. I felt like dirty air started to play a factor late in the race as the bottom got grip and started laying rubber, because I could definitely feel it. It would cut a lot better on the bottom if there wasn't a car directly in front of me. So I don't think the package is perfect yet. I don't think we should be dealing with dirty air at short tracks. I'm sorry. I just don't feel like that should be a thing. But once you got on worn tires, you pretty much had to run the top. Otherwise, you were going to get freight trained on the bottom. Now, if you could get clean air and run a line on the bottom, pick and choose each corner, then you could make a little bit of ground, but you had to get back up top before anybody could get to your outside, or you're going to lose the spot. So I felt like there's a little bit more work to do, but the racing was fun. I have no complaints with that.
Now, interesting situation, of course, with the doubleheader tonight. Michigan's next. Original set practice start was 9:45 with a minimum 10-minute break between these races. We'll see if that gets moved up here or if we do start at 9:45 for practice. Your thoughts on the doubleheader tonight, in turn, that you race at Michigan now for 125 laps, 250 miles now tonight in past 1 a.m.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. Michigan's one of those tracks, man. It's like you either do good or you don't. And curious to see how dirty air is there, especially with it being such high speed. But we'll go in there and we'll see. I think the seams will be a little dangerous if the track's hot, especially with this car. It's just so unpredictable over the seams. But we're gonna go over there and try to get another one.
Anyone you want to give a shout out to here tonight?
Absolutely. Want to shout out Smith's Race Development, Pelfrey, and Carl for being my good teammates. And thank you guys for putting on a good show. I'm going to try to give y'all another one here shortly.
Congratulations on the run here tonight.
Thank you.
River Hayes able to come away with the win tonight. His teammate Devin Curl came away second. He is with Morgan.
Devin, Morgan and JP up in the booth. You got a copy.
Yeah, man, I got you.
Common occurrence once again here in the second spot tonight at Bristol, right behind your teammate River Hayes. And you had an epic battle between you, Hayes, and Hinson. How much fun is it to know you can run for 20, 30 laps, those three in a group, and stay off each other for the most part?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was pretty fun there for most of it until I don't know what happened. I'd have to go watch the replay, but I know that coming off one of the corners, either I came up or the leader at the time, Henson, came down, but it was in the midst of all that lap traffic, and we made contact, and it nearly ruined the race, nearly ended my night, and unfortunately gave the lead to the 53 at the time. And I think that if I had gotten clear, it would have been over, and I would have been able to win. So that kind of hurt. Got some damage. Car felt a little bit different. Steering didn't turn as good. After that, got kind of shuffled back to fourth and was under River when the caution came out. And honestly, I think we need a fast replay of that one because I think I was ahead by a nose. But nonetheless, iRacing said that he was ahead. We were able to re-rack it, not take tires, and him and I were able to hold off the rest of the field.
Yeah, coming to the end of the race there, when you had that caution with 3 to go, was there ever a thought of pitting to put tires on it? I think you had a set available.
I did have a set, but there was zero chance. As good as the guys were with no tires were holding out, there was not a chance. The 93 taking 0 tires and 0 pitting through the first 2 stages showed me all I needed to know about the tires. That one time we pitted during stage 2 after the 30 laps, that was going to be the last one, and we were just going to hold on and see what we had. It was the right call though. Those guys got bundled up on the bottom on that restart, and me and River were able to jump out to a good healthy advantage, and there was no chance I was catching him with only 2 laps left after a good start. So it was just to sit in there and get the second place finish, take what we can come out with, and move on to Michigan here in a few minutes.
For sure, and to put a bow in that on that Isaac Wilson thing, he only pit 1 time today, and it was at the stage number 2 conclusion. 98 laps on those tires, ended up finishing 4th in front of all the drivers who pit at the end of that one. So that was definitely the right call to stay out. You mentioned,
for sure.
Yeah.
It was very impressive by him. Hats off to him. He's we're all 3 of us are in a tight points battle here, me, him, and River, and for him to do something unorthodox, I'd say, especially at such a small short track that wears out the tires, it was very impressive. So hats off to him. Even though the tires were wearing out, there was nowhere to go to pass anybody. So he played it perfectly and came out with a good finish. So good job to him.
Certainly did a good job there. And you mentioned Michigan. Let's chat about that a little bit. Doubleheader tonight, of course. We've made that well and obvious to all the viewers at home. How are you looking forward to Michigan? Very different from Bristol. How long does it take for you to flip the switch and go from short track mentality and short track abilities to running on the big track 2 miles in the Irish Hills?
Yeah, for me, it's not going to be that hard. I adapt pretty well. Just going to get in there, run a few practice laps, and I think the biggest thing is going to be survival and making sure that we're in the right place at the right time. I think we're going to get pretty strung out here, and have a feeling that tires are going to play more to effect here in Michigan than they did tonight at Bristol. So hopefully we can just be up in the front and get some stage points and just keep the car clean. We don't have fast repairs in this series, so it's very important to just keep the nose on it, keep the rear end on it, and most importantly, keep the tires all pointed straight because it's so easy to get a bent wheel here. I was so surprised on that one restart where Brunelli got loose on the spun his tires that I didn't have wheel damage. I thought my night was over.
He hit you square in the left front, and still that 15 was bulletproof and able to carry on for second. Who do you want to thank? Who do you want to shout out for another podium here on VSPEED?
Same as always with you guys. We got River for winning. Obviously, he's doing a good job for our team. He won last night, won tonight. So I think if we can pull off another win at Michigan, we'll sweep the week, and I'd be pretty happy with that. And then as well as my wife for dealing with me being on here into the late hours tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a late one. Congratulations, Devin. P2 here at Bristol.
Thanks.
So second spot tonight going the way of Devin Curl. Jack Fiffner gets himself the top 3 late. Your Musto spun around the wrong way around at one point of this race. How are you feeling about getting yourself back to the top 3 here to end this one?
Yeah, considering I was backwards at one point, I'm pretty happy with a 3rd place, that's for sure. It was a good day, obviously. Didn't think I had the speed to really end up here, and I think the late caution and staying out obviously helped me jump a few spots there. And I think I went from 4th to 3rd actually on the final restart. So that was thanks to Devon Curl and River Hayes. I was like, I don't know what to do on this caution, so I'm just going to do what they do because they usually end up winning a lot of these things. So did that, and yeah, finished in 3rd. Happy with it.
Indeed here. And how tricky was this track tonight to get yourself into the mindset of a doubleheader in the first place here, especially with the short track to start?
Yeah, no, Bristol's tough. I think the new package, a little bit more horsepower, is tough to. I mean, that's why I ended up spinning. It's so tough to keep it straight, especially if you go to the high line, and that's what I ended up doing. I was trying to take the high line and kind of chop down the corner, and if you get too aggressive on the gas, it spins around pretty easy. So, yeah, it was tough and had to feather the gas a little bit more the rest of the race, and I preferred to stay on the bottom. I think it's a little easier to just rip around the bottom, save a little bit of tires, but use the top if you need to pass. And then yeah, the challenge of the doubleheader is going to about as opposite of a track as you could find from Bristol next here at Michigan, which will be interesting. So I tend to like the ovals, 1.5 miles, 2 mile tracks a little bit better. So hoping to maybe repeat what I did here in this race and get another podium.
You mentioned part of the game plan approach there. How do you feel about how the car's going to race at Michigan in general?
Yeah, it's probably going to be pretty drafty, I'd imagine. I think the same thing, kind of ripping the bottom and saving some tires is going to be the fastest way around. But with it probably being a little bit of a drafty race, you're going to need to probably run the middle or the high lane to get momentum for the straights. So we'll see if it strings out at all. That'd be awesome. I think that's where a little bit more fun racing happens and where I think I could do a little bit better, but I wouldn't be shocked if it races a little drafty and it's a little bit of a pack race and just have a train really going on each of on the front stretch and the back stretch, but we'll just have to see.
Any shout you'd like to give here tonight?
Yeah, I'll shout out the admins. They Brandon and his whole crew, they run this thing pretty awesome. It's the league I've enjoyed racing the most for sure. So shout out to them for putting up with us every week.
Congratulations on the top 3. I'll let you get to preparation here.
Thank you, guys.
It's Pfiffner who comes away with the top 3 tonight, lengthening the entire top 3 for speaking with us during post-race coverage here on VSPEED. Final thoughts here, Morgan, as we'll take a bit of break, of course, towards Michigan, but first part of the doubleheader started off pretty well.
The doubleheader part 1, success. Fun race, 11 cautions, I think 12 cautions. In this one, came down to an overtime restart. River Hayes gets the job done. Congratulations to him. Curl in second, Pfiffner in third. Just talked to them, of course. And I mean, a race with its bumps and its bruises, its highlights and its lowlights. I mean, some drivers looked like they were going to have stellar runs. Gavin Hinson comes to mind. Obviously, it looked like it was going to be a podium finish for him until things went awry at the end. Bollinger had the race win in his hands, and Pitt on that final caution ends up finishing in 5th. I wonder if Michigan will prove as volatile in the running order.
Indeed, and again, we'll be racing Slim Chickens Cup Series action at Michigan next. They have moved up the practice start to a 9:30 p.m. session beginning. Everything afterwards is expected to follow the normal schedule. So with that in mind, we'll have a small break. When we come back, VSPEED will have your coverage of Slim Chickens Cup Series racing from Michigan. Morgan Cook for Dougie Beard. I'm Justin Prince saying so long. We'll see you in a bit. Hope you enjoy the action so far. Hope to see you enjoy the action in a bit.